Have you ever finished a meal and not remembered its taste? Sometimes you are watching something during lunch, and then it's as if the food vanished. That has happened to us all. I used to eat my meals while working, barely tasting a thing. But everything changed when I discovered mindful eating. Today, I am going to share how this simple practice transformed my relationship with food, and more importantly, how it can work for you too. Stay tuned because what you're about to learn might just change your eating habits forever. Picture this. You're sitting at your desk, lunch in front of you. Your phone starts buzzing, the emails start to roll in, and then it's a packaging container, and you hardly remember what you have eaten. Sound familiar? That, my friends, is the definition of mindless eating, something I can definitely vouch for. In this way, we rob ourselves of the pleasure of eating and our body's innate wisdom. A few years ago, most days I couldn't recall what I had for lunch. Meals had become a chore to check off my to-do list. Along came mindful eating, and my relationship with food changed. Eat mindfully means the difference between watching a movie while you're scrolling through your phone versus going to a movie theater and getting fully into the experience. It is about paying attention to a meal in front of you, noticing flavors, textures, and how one's body feels while eating. But here is what gives it such potency. Mindful eating helps one discern true hunger signals, understand when one is truly satisfied, and break free from automatic eating patterns. When you eat mindfully, you are not just feeding your body, you are nourishing your whole self. It's like making friends with food rather than viewing it as a stranger whom you hardly acknowledge. It turns eating from a blind activity into a pleasant experience that will take care of both your physical and emotional needs. Now, let's get into the interesting science behind why this practice is so effective. Your brain takes about 20 minutes to register that you're full. It's fascinating how this communication works between your gut and mind. When you eat mindfully, you're giving your body the time it needs to send these important signals, helping you naturally eat the right amount for your needs. Now let's see what happens when you take that very first mindful bite of food. Your brain sends out a chemical related to rewards called dopamine and helps you savor the experience. But here's the interesting part. While we are eating and distracted, we tend to make less of those satisfaction chemicals. That could explain why we often want more when our attention is elsewhere, even after eating a full meal. What mindful eating really does, it solves the physiology of digestion. While you're calmer and more present, it sends your body into overdrive, really processing the food in your body. Considering it this way, your body is either in rest and digest mode, or fight or flight. And when you are stressed with meals, or hurrying through a meal, you're often in that fight or flight state that can make you not digest well and not get satisfaction from your food. Studies have also shown that individuals who apply mindful eating practices tend to have better blood sugar regulation and sustained energy levels throughout the day. Now that we understand the science, let's look at the core principles that make mindful eating so effective. Understanding the key principles of mindful eating is similar to learning the language of one's body, so to speak. The first is to eat with all your senses, to make every meal a multi-sensory one. Imagine taking a bite of an apple. Feel the crunch of it in your mouth, the way sweetness and tartness cascade over your tongue, the feel of smooth skin and the firm flesh beneath, even the fresh fruity scent. Multi-sensory awareness lets the brain understand your food in all of its nuances and be much more satisfied with each meal. The second key principle is developing awareness of variations in hunger and fullness. Physical hunger develops over time, similar to a wave building in the ocean. It gives clear signs to the body, such as rumbling noises from the stomach, dizziness, or lethargy. But emotional hunger? That comes suddenly, just like a thunderstorm, generally triggered by stress, boredom, or some type of emotional scene. Only then would you be taking the time to investigate exactly what kind of hunger you're feeling. Then there is the art of recognizing satiety signals, those subtle cues your body sends to tell you that you are comfortably satisfied. These are soft whispers that always seem to get lost in the hustle and bustle of life. With mindful eating, you will start noticing perhaps a slight change in taste, feeling more relaxed, or just feeling content without feeling stuffed. Understanding these signals helps prevent both under and overeating. Gratitude also does a surprising amount. Considering where your food comes from, the farmers and the people who prepared it build a relationship with your meal. This naturally will slow down your eating and enhance satisfaction. Think of gratitude as the seasoning that makes every meal more meaningful. Then there's the principle of eliminating distractions. Think of mealtime as a sort of mini meditation. You wouldn't scroll through your social media in meditation, and neither should your eating environment be chaotic. Not every meal must be some form of ceremony. Just a few mindful bites make a difference. Now that we have a sense of these principles, let's dive into the practical steps you can start using today. Let's take these principles and put them into practice. Let me guide you through the simple process that was instrumental in my developing my own mindful eating practice with small steps that gradually build into lasting habits. Start with what I call the pre-meal pause. Before even picking up the utensils, take 3 deep breaths. This small ritual cues your body to shift from doing mode to eating mode. It's almost like some kind of reset button to help you let go of your busy day and come into this time of nourishment. Take a few breaths between bites and notice if you are hungry or eating for other reasons. This simple awareness can change the way you eat forever. Now, let's talk about the first bite ritual. Choose one, just one, bite at the beginning of your meal to experience it fully. Notice the temperature of the food, its texture, and the different flavors that develop as you chew. You might be surprised at the new tastes in foods you have been eating hundreds of times. This first mindful bite sets the tone for your entire meal and helps fire up your digestive system. Take at least 20-30 seconds with this first bite, like tuning an instrument before a concert. Put your utensils down on the plate after a bite. This natural pause gives you time to experience your food fully and helps to avoid the automatic hand-to-mouth movement we all can fall into. Think of it like placing a period at the end of a sentence. It creates a natural rhythm to your meal. I remind myself that my food is not going anywhere. There is no rush to get to the next bite. A peaceful eating environment will really make or break your mindful eating. Even when you cannot control your surroundings completely, you can take small steps. This might be turning your phone face down, closing your laptop, or simply finding a quiet corner in a busy break room. One of my favorite techniques is to eat at an actual table rather than at my desk or on the couch. The act of sitting at a designated eating space helps your brain learn to focus on the meal. Try this simple exercise I call the halfway check-in. When you're about halfway through your meal, stop for a moment. How does your body feel? Are you still enjoying the food as much as when you started? Rate your fullness on a scale from 1 to 10. This check-in helps you recognize your satiety signals and often prevents overeating. It's like having a conversation with your body about what it needs. Now that you have these practical tools in your mindful eating toolkit, let's wrap it all up with how to keep it alive in your daily life. Mindful eating is not perfection. It is the development of a more mindful relationship with food. Practice is required with any new skill, so be patient with yourself. It can be just one meal in a day eaten mindfully, or even a few mindful bites each day. How such small adjustments can alter an entire eating experience may surprise you. Just think about those moments when you stared at an empty plate, puzzled, wondering where the food went. These are the moments that will become few and far between as you bring mindfulness to your meals. Your food is more satisfying, your body feels better, and eating becomes what it should be, a nourishing, enjoyable part of your day. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical wellness tips. More information about nutrition is on my website as shown in the description below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the following